Hi everyone and welcome to another video. So, long time no see. Long 8 months without you seeing me and me seeing you. I cannot believe we managed to wait this long, if I'm being completely honest. I missed this show, I missed reacting to it, I missed seeing it, I missed the cast, I missed the fandom interactions, I missed everything. 8 months has been so long, especially when we were like hanging by a thread, not really knowing if the show was gonna be renewed or not. And honestly, it would be really weird if the show didn't get renewed, especially because it was getting all of this positive traction, all of this good attention, all of the awards and nominations and whatever. It just feel weird, especially because there's so much of this like generation stories that can still be told, and you know, like I'm very happy that the show got renewed for another season. The season comes out tomorrow at the time of me filming this, and I couldn't be more excited about getting this universe and getting the characters back. Like, yeah, 8 months have been. Last time we were accompanied by these two, and now we're gonna have a new main. What have I been doing in the past 8 months? So, nothing much. Almost felt like I was just waiting for the announcement to come. But yeah, other than that, I went to Germany. I went to Berlin and I did a couple of nice things. Some of those nice things being visiting some of the filming locations. Obviously not all of them, because some of them were properties, people lived there. Some of them were like closed off and I didn't really fancy going into jail. But obviously the most important location I visited was obviously the place where Fatu and Kyumi like met on the first episode, and also where they reunited. You know, the little running sequence of them kissing was so cute. And honestly, I have to say I got very emotional. I'm gonna leave here, probably here on the side, a little like snippet of it. It was so nice. I got very emotional. It felt so like comforting to be in this place that was so important to me, right? Something really cool and important to me happened there. Like, I honestly, as soon as I got there, I felt like I was like getting teary-eyed and everything. And it's so weird, especially being that like I worked on film sets, so I know how things work, and me being excited about a location feels very weird. But again, like it just felt so beautiful, and I remember posting it on Instagram without like adding anything and saying it was druck related, and a bunch of people just like saying oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, because they knew. Like, all of us druck stands, like we can probably see a location and identify what happened there. Other than going to this place, I also went to this place where like Kyumi had the date thingy with Zoe and Finn, and they took pictures and stuff, and I recreated the picture that she took with my bestie. It was so nice. And I also went to like a few other bits and bobs, and it was quite nice. Like, Berlin is such a cool city. I liked it before the show, so now like going there and walking there just gave me this huge like boost, because I have so many nice memories now and so many nice like things related to this show, that walking around Berlin just felt like, again, comforting, very comforting. And even like places that I know for a fact are not the locations where they filmed, just walking there, like things being so similar to what I saw on screen and I visited before, was like super cool. But yeah, jumping into things, welcome to this video. This video that is gonna consist of predictions, things I would like to see, and like just a little overall chat between friends, if you will. First thing I want to say is that I think there's gonna be a season 8, and that being not only because of the fact that the show is doing very well, but I don't think all of the stories are going to be able to be told in one season without feeling like there's stuff missing. So I do think there's going to be a season 8, and that is my biggest prediction. If I have to say, I think there's going to be a season 8, and I will probably riot if it doesn't happen. Like, I will actually riot. But yeah, I'm very excited because season 7 is going to explore something that we haven't really had in Scamverse before, the exploration of gender identity. And that is really cool, that is really important, especially because we know druck is trying to fix or better some of the mistakes and like mishaps that they done in the past. Obviously, one of them being how they handled the educational side of David's like journey, and the whole traumatic way of having something that should be your own, like told to everybody. So I think it will be important to like remove that layer of trauma whilst also providing education, but whilst also making it a show about a non-binary person that non-binary people will not like hate, because that's a lot of the stuff that happens, is a lot of this type of like representation. When you try to introduce something that hasn't really been talked about that much, you often run into like making it so educational that like the type of person that is being represented wouldn't want to see it, because they're just like, yeah, you're just preaching to the choir. So it would be interesting to see how that is going to be handled. Honestly, like I'm very excited to have this particular topic, like gender expression and gender identity, being shown in the Scamverse. We need more diversity, and it's finally coming, and we need to be happy that it's finally coming. Other than that, obviously all of us kind of know there's hints here, there, and everywhere about this season, also including the very lovely topic of toxic friendships. And that will be interesting because obviously in Anna's season we had that, but it was not as much of toxic friendships, but being left alone, of a previous friend group that we might have had, and learning how to navigate that. This is still like, someone that you still relate to, still connect to, still is your friend, not behaving accordingly as they should, and you having to like handle that and navigate that, and feeling like they are pushing you to be a negative person and a worse person than you would be without their influence. So I think that would be very interesting, because at some point in their life a lot of people can relate to this. And the good thing is as well, toxicity within the friendship can very easily translate to romantic relationships. So it would be good because people might be able to spot some red flags on things that are happening in their life. So I'm very excited to see how this is going to unfold. Like, honestly, I'm actually very, very excited about this season, even though everyone knows that I was like day one ride or die for Ava season, because I do think whenever you run into like telling the story of the bully, people are gonna ultimately sympathize with them. And we have a very clear example of this with the Sex Education season 3. Spoilers if you have not seen it, spoilers with what happened with Adam. Like, we had him at the forefront being a very integral part of the season, and now everyone loves him, including me. So I do know that whenever you tell the story of the bully like that, you run into the problem of like making them too relatable, too loving, and people will often brush what they did under the rug. So yeah, as much as I'm very excited about the season, I really want the story to be handled well, because the bully thing still grinds my gears a little bit. I think with this season as well, it will be a perfect way to bring back the Scamcast. Shameless plug, I know, but I always said that with Scamcast, I wanted to bring the voices of those being represented on screen to the forefront, and in this case, I feel like it would be the perfect opportunity, because with Fatu season, obviously, I was speaking about something that was very near and dear to me, like being black, being queer. In this case, yes, I'll probably be able to identify with some of the queer related things, and be able to identify with obviously microaggressions, the microaggressions and the xenophobia that Ismail might suffer because they are Turkish. So obviously I might be able to identify with that, but at the end of the day, I'm not non-binary, and I won't be able to fully comprehend some of the things. So I think it would be amazing, because again, the episode that I filmed with my friend that we ultimately have to reshoot is exactly about that, about transness, gender identity, how trans characters are treated in the media. So having that conversation will, like, I feel like link very well with this season. So tune in for that if you are interested, and I hope you are, because I think Scamcast is like something that I'm very proud of. But yeah, Circling back, obviously, everyone knows that I'm not exactly the biggest Constantine fan. I'm really not. And ultimately, like, I think it would be cool for the first time to see the bad guy not be redeemed. Maybe that's just me, and it's has something to do with the fact that I don't really find them that intriguing as a character. Obviously, everyone knows there's plenty of hints and evidence that there's probably something going on with him in the background, behind the scenes. That's fine. Still doesn't matter. Still doesn't make his behaviors okay. And because of that, I would like to be like, yeah, he's a terrible person sometimes. He's only nice to his friends, or nice-ish to his friends. That's fine, because all of us in our lives know about a lot of horrible people that are just horrible. And it's not like I want, a teenager to be like irredeemable. That is not the thing. It's just not making it and leaving room for him to be like praised, because he's still done something very bad. So I don't know, I'm really not here for his like redemption. And obviously I know that he's going to be a very integral part of the season. Like, he's the best friend of the main, so obviously they're going to be together all the time, which is fine, understandable. But I do really think Ismail like separating themselves from Constantine at some point in the season, even if ultimately they are drawn back together, it would be interesting. What I'm thinking as well is like possible outcomes for the love interest, and obviously my main ones in my head are either Ava, Yara, or a woman slash femme presenting non-binary person, simply because in my mind it would strip away that layer of people just thinking non-binary people are gay guys in a different font. It would be kind of cool to see it. I don't think I ever saw it in media, having like a non-binary person that looks male, because that's how many people in the fandom feel about Ismail. So having that character with then a woman or a non-binary person that presents female, I think that would be, I don't know, I think it would be interesting. Way more interesting than seeing them with Constantine, let's face it. Like, no, I want some pizzazz. And even though I think if they go the Ava route, it would be complicated because of the bullying history. A lot of people do think that Ismail might be Uelk, whatever, this random account that just disappeared in season 1, along with beautiful, kind William. Where is William? Bring him back. Hashtag like bring William back. So yeah, I think it might be something along those lines. Obviously they might go the single route, and a lot of people were writing for that and rooting for that. I personally would think that would be a terrible idea, simply because like non-binary identities are not tied with asexuality and aromantic feelings. They are not, at least not mutually exclusive. So it would feel weird to me that the first non-binary character in this canvas would be the only one left single. In the big like scheme of things, it would be the same way as I feel about Amira from Scam España being the only one left alone. So the woman of color being left alone when all of her friends, everyone is fine and dandy dating their significant other. It just wouldn't make sense to me particularly. And I don't know, like, again, the writers might pull it off the bag and make it make sense, and I wholeheartedly trust them. I know that they want to make this character justice, but I personally wouldn't think it makes too much sense, simply because we already have this notions and these stereotypes when it comes to non-binary identities. So it would just feel weird to me. So I hope that's not the route that they take. I just want to see Ismail, like, they deserve to be happy. So if they find someone, they find someone. And it would be cool if that someone was Yara, because, cool and mysterious baby right there. But yeah, along with this conversation, I was left breathless when I saw Eren's, like, Instagram live where they said something I keep saying, which is stop wanting queer people to like be in love with their straight best friends. That just leaves room for trauma and for sadness that we don't need anymore. Can we just have the like rom-com of, you know, two people find each other, love each other, boom boom bang? Like, stop it all the time wanting us to have drama and trauma is tiring and exhausting. Please keep it for yourself.
No ma'am. No ma'am.
Again, obviously we don't know if that Instagram story was like tied to the Scamverse fandom and to druck and to what's happening, but being that some fans are very intrusive, it would not shock me in the slightest. And even if it's not, like, come on, like this nonsense of wanting like Constantine and Ismail together, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me, and it rubs me the wrong way, because the same people that hate Nodelms want Ismail to date their toxic best friend. Like, I don't understand how you as a fan of this character want this person to be with someone toxic. Like, yes, enemies to lovers, I love that trope too, but come on, like, there's a time and a place, and this is not the time or the place. So let's not do that. Let's do something different. Let's do something better. Ismail deserves a better person if they ultimately, you know, date someone. That's all I have to say. But much to think about. Like I said, I trust the writers. I trust that they want to do this character justice, and I don't think they would pull up all of the same stereotypes out of the bag, because if they did this, it would be a very similar like journey to Mateo's, like falling for your best friend not being into you, then you meet some other guy. Like, I love that journey, but it's another journey, it's for another character, so let's hope it's different for Ismail. I do think, however, Ismail at some point is going to try and expand the friend group and expand their inner circle and meet new people. Obviously they are going to hang out with Fatu a lot more via Kumi, and yeah, that is nice, because obviously when you are dating someone, your partner might become friends with your bestie. That's just what happens. And I think, you know, especially because Ismail and Fatu are like this now, even though Fatu is like ugh to them most of the time, but it's funny to me. I do think, however, all of this is going to also lead into Ava, and that comes back to me thinking Ava might be one of the potential like love interests of this season. Their interaction at the end of season 6 left possible room for speculation, because again, Ava said she was pretty much done with them, like she wants nothing to do with Ishmael, which I understand, but it makes sense. Like, it makes a lot of sense, because, you know, obviously Ishmael might just be trying to like reach a potential like friendship or potential closure, potential, you know, like making themselves feel better about what happened, but it can also be towards the romantic route. And again, we don't know, we are not gonna know yet, but we have 10 weeks to find out. This all to me just makes it lean into this thing of the instas ultimately at some point having a break or make a moment within their friendships, because, you know, Zoe had this thing of her wanting to be a better person and not being attached to this bad speaking and bad mouthing and just not being nice. Kumi is dating Fatu, so obviously like that layer is stripped there. You know, like Finn is a cinnamon roll, is not hurting anybody. So I do think that like the instas are gonna have it this make or break it moment where the group might fragment, might separate, but I think they will come back at the end and have this like, you know, closure moment and be fine. But I do think there's gonna be some friction there, because like they want to better themselves, and I do think this journey will not so much include Constantine, but they will bring him eventually, but it will mostly be like fix yourself. What I also think might happen is Yara being more involved this season than she has been before. I just love it, because like Yara as literally had like what 10 lines in the 2 seasons, and she lives rent free in everyone's head. Like, she just does. She is literally the love of everyone's lives, and I'm happy for her. I love that for her because I love her too. What I think might happen is, if Ismail and Yara end up having like some connection, some friendship, whatever it might be, Yara might be like, yo, your best friend is a terrible person, because Yara has such a like healthy and nice and beautiful relationship with Josh that she will probably tell Ismail like, yo, you need this for yourself as well. You cannot be having your best friend being terrible to you. This is not how best friends work. And again, their relationship might flourish and might become better because of this. And Yara is very like secretive, not as much as secretive, but like reserved with her thing. So I think it would be cool finally this season for her to open an Instagram and it being through there. I don't know, who knows. I think this would be cool. Like, Yara and Ismail, I could see them together. I could totally see them together. But yeah, I think this is pretty much it. The only add-on I want to say is we are starting the season right before Halloween, and it probably means that these two are gonna have a couple outfit together. They are gonna coordinate and plan it, because last year you saw how it was last year, and this year they are gonna be together. They've been together for 8 months. They're gonna have a couple's outfit. But yeah, everybody, that is pretty much it. I can see on the little thing the video has been running for too long. Also, it's like the second time I filmed this, so I feel like I'm speaking much faster than I did last time, and I said way less stuff. But what matters to me is that you are here and that we are back together. Hopefully you will be here to watch my reaction to the first week of the new season of Ishmael's Mind. We are going to be with them for 10 beautiful weeks, and I cannot wait. I am so excited that we are all back. And yeah, but yeah, if you are from here, you already know the drill. Like this video if you liked. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for reactions to Talk, and I will see you next week. Bye!